Okay, in our world is much more wheat than tares. Somos muy conscientes de la existencia de la cizaña. De la cizaña en nuestro mundo, continuamente los medios de comunicación, las redes sociales, nos muestran los signos de la cizaña que existen en nuestras sociedades. We are well aware of the existence of tares in our world. Continuously, the media and social networks show to us so many other signs of the tares that grow in our societies. Por eso, cuando leemos el Evangelio de hoy, enseguida se nos ocurre la aplicación a nuestra vida concreta. Enseguida identificamos la cizaña, enseguida ponemos a nombres y apellidos. Hasta en nuestra misma familia nos resulta fácil encontrar al chico malo o la chica mala, pero se nos olvida el lado positivo. That is why when we read today's gospel, the application to our concrete life immediately occurs to us. We immediately identify the tares. Immediately we put names and surnames on them. Even in our own family, it's easy for us to find the bad and good boys and girls, but we forget the positive side. Luchemos contra los pesimismos. Es que la parábola de esta mañana, la parábola es en contra de los pesimismos que nos invaden tantas veces. Lo primero que afirma esta parábola es que hay mucho trigo sembrado. Hay mucho trigo sembrado, tanto que vale la pena aguardar el momento de la cosecha para quitar la cizaña. First, let's fight against pessimism. In the parable, contrary to the pessimism that invite us often, the first thing that it affirms is that there is a lot of wheat sown, so much so that it is worth waiting for the time of harvest to remove the tares. Hay mucha buena semilla. Tenemos muy buena semilla. Sembrada por el Hijo del Hombre. Como se dice en la explicación que el mismo Jesús hace de la parábola, es buena semilla, está creciendo en nuestro mundo. There is a lot of good seed sown by the Son of Man. Good seeds isn't growing. As it is said in the explanation that Jesus himself makes in the parable. It is that good seed is growing in our world. Están los que solo quieren ver la cizaña. Usted puede encontrar gente que solo quiere ver lo malo. Pone la atención todo el tiempo en las cosas malas. Quieren ver la cizaña que está presente en el campo, pero la realidad es que predomina la buena semilla, el trigo. Si solo hubiera cizaña, el dueño del campo habría ordenado que la quiten, que la arrancasen. Todo, y no habría ninguna razón para esperar a la cosecha. There are those who only want to see the tares present in the field, you know. They only have open eyes for the bad things. You can find this kind of people, a lot of people, you know. But the reality is that the good seed, the wheat predominates. If there were only weeds, the owner of the field would have ordered them all to be uprooted. There will be no reason to wait for the harvest. La segunda cosa, si un poco de levadura es capaz de leudar una masa, creamos que los buenos serán capaces de transformar al resto. Algo parecido nos dice Jesús en la parábola de la levadura. Apenas un poco de levadura es capaz de hacer que se fermente toda la masa. A mí me gusta hacer pizza. I like to cook pizza in my home. But I like when I can see the fruit grow. Oh my God, it's nice. Es capaz de hacer fermentar toda la masa. Por mucho que algunos piensen que es imposible, frente a los que piensan que la manzana podrida estropeará el resto de las manzanas, Jesús siempre revolucionario, ¿no? Jesús siempre revolucionario afirma y espera que la manzana buena será capaz de transformar al resto. Second point, if a little yeast is capable of leavening of, I don't know what pronounces this, la masa dough. Let us believe that the good ones will be capable of transforming the rest. Jesus tells us something similar in the parable of the yeast. Just a little bit of yeast is capable of making the whole dough ferment. Even though some people think it's impossible. The same as those who think that the rotten apple spoiled the rest of the apples. Jesus always a revolutionary, no? Affirmed and hopes that the good apple will be able to transform the rest. En la primera lectura nos confirma lo dicho. Nuestro Dios es un Dios todopoderoso. Y por eso mismo nos gobierna con indulgencia. Su poder se manifiesta en su capacidad de perdonar y dar la vida. Y en la carta de Pablo a los Romanos, en el capítulo 8, versículos 29 al 39, dice: el Espíritu viene en ayuda de nuestra debilidad e intercede por nosotros con gemidos inefables. El poder de Dios está de nuestro lado. God is with us. Está del lado de la vida y del bien y no dejará que la cizaña se salga con la suya. In the first reading, it confirms what was said. Our God is all-powerful, and for that very reason, He governs us with indulgences. His power is manifested in His ability to forgive and give life. Life. In Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 26 to 39, he says, the Spirit comes to the aid and our witness and intercedes for us with unspeakable groans. The power of God is on our side all the time. God is with us. It is on the side of the life and of good and will not let the weeds get away with it. Conclusion. Las lecturas que hemos tenido hoy, que hemos compartido este domingo, nos traen un mensaje lleno de vida. Vida. We need to celebrate the vida. This morning when I came here, I remember that's a song that I learned when I was a child, when some unbelieving visited our country. This is the day. This is the day. Can you sing with me? This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day, brother and sister. This is the day of the Lord. He's made for us this day. Este es el día del Señor. Es el día que el Señor ha hecho para nosotros. Amén. Tenemos que recordar entonces un mensaje lleno de vida y esperanza en nuestra sociedad, en nuestra familia, en cada uno de nosotros. En cada uno de nosotros hay mucho más trigo, hay muchas cosas buenas. Hay muchas cosas buenas y menos son las malas. Menos cizaña. Hay mucho más salvable que condenable. Es más, ninguna persona está definitivamente condenada. Por todo nuestro Dios espera hasta el momento de la cosecha. Entonces será el momento de la purificación final. Que salvará todo lo que sea trigo en nosotros. Y nos liberará definitivamente del peso de la cizaña. El Espíritu nos ayude en ese camino. This is the conclusion. The readings that we have shared this Sunday bring us a message full of life and hope. Full of life and hope in our society, in our church, in our family. In each one of us. There is a much more wheat than tares, in our life. We have a lot of good things in our life. We need to celebrate that. There is much more damnable. Moreover, no person is definitively condemned our God waits until harvest time for all. Then it will be the moment of the final purification that will say everything that is within us and definitely free us from the weight of the tares. The Holy Spirit help us on that path. Puse algunas preguntas en este sermón. This is not the sermon, but sorry, Perry. Pero we were missionaries in my country. You know, the people who went to that meet and greet, we're talking about that. We were missionaries with Rosie for several years. And those years was very great, my job. I meet with different kind of people, different church, different people from USA was involved in our job in my country. One of the men is Adam Hamilton, the pastor of the Corps. They invite my family for being that 10th anniversary because they have been for long years visiting my country. And they invite us. I check all the time when he preached, he write our sermons and left a lot of questions in the end, the sermon. And the people continue in the week reading the sermon and making meeting in the families. This is a good idea. I would like to do something like that. For that reason, I include some questions in my sermon today. Estaba diciendo que hace algunos años, cuando fui misionero en mi país, recibimos la visita de gente muy maravillosa de aquí de los Estados Unidos. De todos los tipos y gente muy entregada al Señor. Conocimos a Adam Hamilton, el pastor de la iglesia metodista en Kansas. Una de las, maybe the most big church in Methodist church, I don't know. Quizás es el pastor de la iglesia metodista más grande. Pues él nos invitó cuando cumplieron los 10 años de estar yendo a Honduras. Y me fijé una cosa, siempre escribe los sermones. Y siempre los sermones están disponibles al terminar el servicio con preguntas durante la semana. Y yo creo que we have a good opportunity to learn that. This is good things for us. This is one of the reasons because all the time we have our sermon. No was exactly that because, though you know, one of the I am concerned is try to communicate better with you. You can follow my sermon with a printed sermon. But this is a good opportunity also for going to your home and take the question and work with your family. Take the follow. You know, it's good. Remember, there are copies back. Entonces, las preguntas para continuar esta reflexión son así como muy sencillas, digo yo. ¿Qué signos de bien, de esperanza, ves en ti mismo y en todo lo que te rodea? ¿Qué podrías hacer para que se viese más la presencia del trigo, que de hecho es más abundante y menos que la cizaña? Okay, the question to continue the reflection on your arms is very simple, I think. This is a simple question. What sign of good hope do you see in yourself and in everything that surrounds you? And the second one is, what could you do to make the presence of the wheat more visible, which in fact is more abundant and less that of the tares? Okay, we can continue in the conversation during the week. Okay, thank you. This is the word of God for the people of God. Thank you.